and all that sort of stuff, and they asked you why, and it's all erupted.
I don't know. If you
They just
approach me
asked
and
us
were
to come out
concerned
and
by
ask you
someone,
what's going on, why are you taking photos of them, that sort of stuff. Okay, they've asked you to move on, and you threatened to piss up walls.
I haven't.
Criminal damage, isn't it?
I don't know. I didn't hear that conversation.
But that's why we're out here, just having a conversation.
Yeah.
We're not trying to cause any arguments or anything like that. We're just asking what's going on.
Why is it not?
That's it.
Why does it not?
Because you.
Well, like I say, there's not. End of the day, I don't know what the problem is.
Going in and out of this hotel. It's not bollocks.
How long was I stood down there?
I don't know.
Right.
They've raised their concern. You're stood down there trying to take photos and hand to the public, and causing harassment, alarm,
Trying to take
What?
Today's footage comes from Reggie Photo, and you'll find their channel linked down below in the description. Make sure to check them out and show some support. This one's packed with tense moments, sharp exchanges, and a powerful reminder of why knowing your rights truly matters. So let's jump right into it.
Now we bring him round here onto this glass for grazing. Okay.
Alright guys, today we step straight into a scene that turns tense quicker than anyone expects. The streets are shut down, hotel entrances locked off, and every corner brimming with high-alert security watching every move. Cameras, barriers, blocked routes, this entire area feels like it's been placed inside a silent pressure cooker. As our lens pans around, applause echoes from earlier moments, but the mood flips the second officials start circling. What begins as simple filming suddenly draws the kind of attention that makes the atmosphere crackle with suspicion. And from this moment forward, everything spirals into sharp exchanges, irritated responses, and relentless questioning.
Out of here. Like a golf buggy, innit? This vehicle is permitted to park on the hotel bays in Whitehall adjacent to the Corinthia Hotel for purposes of loading, unloading, collection of guests and duties related to the hotel. If there are any queries, please contact the hotel concierge or the doorman. So there you go.
And then he went and told security.
Hello, mate, you alright?
I didn't even speak to me.
I'm allowed to speak to you. I'm allowed to speak to you. Pardon? What are you doing here, that's all?
Let's take pictures.
Come speak to you.
I don't know what you're doing here. Why are you here?
I'll come speak to you.
No, why are you here?
For the King's coronation.
Yeah, but what are you doing?
What do you mean, what am I doing? Working.
Exactly.
Yeah, okay. Well, I'm just trying to have a conversation with you. There's no need to be rude.
I'm not being rude.
You are being rude. I come over here, the first thing you said to me was, don't you even dare.
People are strange, aren't
You said, don't you even dare. That's the first thing you said to me.
Did you not call him an asshole? Did you not call him an asshole? Did you call him an asshole?
The first confrontation hits hard. A golf buggy-style vehicle rolls up with hotel permissions printed across its windshield, and officers swarm the scene, determined to figure out who's filming and why. One security figure steps forward, almost barking orders, demanding an explanation without offering the slightest courtesy. The photographer tries to respond calmly, but his patience thins instantly when he's met with snappy comments and accusations straight off the bat. The authorities act as if the camera itself is a weapon, pushing the conversation into hostility before it's even begun.
Didn't know.
It sounded like that.
Oh, but my camera's on.
Oh, sorry, if you didn't.
Switch it on when you got it.
Okay.
And you haven't even told me yet.
I don't need to tell you.
Yes, you did.
No, I don't.
Yes, you did.
You did.
5.1, 5.5.
You know, we know.
I'm trying to come out here and have a conversation.
to help
with you.
you.
No, I'm trying to have a conversation with you.
Right.
Okay,
Why?
and because
Why?
it's been raised to us that you're out here taking photos of people threatening to go to the toilet on the wall. They put up things like that. It will be, yeah. If you go to the toilet on it, yeah.
Threatening
If
criminal.
I shoot him in the head, that'll be a crime as well, won't
Yeah,
it?
it will, yeah.
Well, I've not done it.
Okay, but you're still threatening it, aren't you? So
What, threatening to have a fee against the wall?
part of our job
Criminal
is
damage.
prevention of
Threats
crime,
criminal
isn't it?
damage.
Threats of criminal damage?
Part of our job is prevention of crime, isn't it?
What? Criminal damage being on a wall?
Yeah.
Appeared on the wall is criminal damage.
Is it heck?
You're
Serious?
criminals than the
Dead
criminals.
we're not. Yeah.
It's not criminal damage.
You're tarnishing us all with the same.
Is it not a public order offence?
Who do you want?
Not criminal damage.
The Met.
Surely?
It's a shite name.
Seriously? I didn't know that.
Why are you being so angry?
How many of them have been raping and murdering and all sorts of things, yeah? Lately.
Okay.
How many? You're not interested now.
I'm trying to have a conversation with you. That's got nothing to do with what we're here talking to.
It's a shite.
Okay.
The Met Police.
Okay. Continue swearing, sir. You'll be committing a public order offence.
No,
alright?
I won't.
You need to remember.
Pull that one, boy.
Who's going to make the argument?
You go and learn some law before you come dictating to
Okay.
me, okay?
Okay. I've been through training school, my friend.
Yeah, but it's
I know
You've
what's
been
going on.
through the wrong training school, boy.
The Met Police training school.
Sir, why
What
are
are you butting in?
Why are you being
He's
so?
talking to me.
Why are you being quite aggressive?
No, you're not being aggressive. We're just being because we
Sorry, mate.
Well, we're
He's
just having
being
a conversation.
aggressive.
No, he
I'm
isn't.
trying to have a
He's
conversation.
not being aggressive, sir.
To you.
Reacting to me. How
I'm reacting
how
to
how
your
have I
behaviour.
provoked you in any way to
I've
speak like this?
reacted to their behaviour.
How have I provoked you in any way to speak to us like this?
The simple fact
They're treating us like criminals on a public street.
If you
As the discussion heats up, officers accuse the cameraman of refusing instructions, claiming he's taking photos of people, buildings, and even threatening to relieve himself on the wall, an accusation that only fuels frustration. Voices rise, tensions jump, and every attempt at a calm explanation gets tangled up in stern warnings, defensive statements, and snide remarks. Instead of diffusing the moment, security pushes harder, treating him like a criminal on a public street where photography is entirely lawful. Their tone becomes sharp, and the cameraman pushes right back, challenging their claims and demanding the respect any member of the public deserves.
And
Someone
all
else,
that
would
sort
you
of
want me to
stuff,
go
and
to
they
court?
asked you why, and then it's all erupted.
I don't know. If you
They just
approach me
asked us
and
to
were
come out
concerned
and
about
ask you
someone,
Yeah.
what's
would you
going
want me to
on,
go to
why are you taking photos of them, that sort
Okay,
of
you
stuff.
threatened
Okay,
to
they've asked
pull
you
up
to
a
move
wall,
on, you threatened to
which
piss up walls.
I haven't.
Threat criminal damage, isn't it?
I don't know. I didn't hear that conversation.
Oh, but that's why we're out here, just having a conversation.
Yeah.
We're not trying to cause any arguments or anything like
It's
that.
resolved.
We're just
It's not
asking what's
resolved.
going on.
Why is it not?
That's it.
Why does it not?
Because you
Well,
still here.
like I say, there's not. End of the day, I don't know what the problem is.
Members going in and out of this hotel. I'm
You
not
know.
stopping it. It's not bollocks. So
How long was I stood down there?
I don't know.
Right.
They've raised the concern. You're stood down there trying to take photos and them in the public, and causing harassment, alarm,
Trying to
stress
take
people.
members.
What for photos in public?
That's what they've said to us.
Yeah, but you know that you should have put him right on that.
Which is part of the reason we're here trying to talk to you.
Yeah, but you should have put him right on that. I'm not being aggressive with you, sir.
Okay. Well.
Right, so you come with me then, and you go tell them. that
You're not
a
going
member
anywhere
of the
closer.
public is allowed to be on this road, and a member of the public.
Okay, this is a sterile area, and they're trying to keep
A
sterile.
member of the public is allowed to take photographs on this road.
They're trying to keep this area sterile. Okay. Yes, they are. They've
So why
explained
didn't
it
they
to us.
approach me when I crossed the road?
They have approached you.
Oh, 15 minutes later.
Okay, because you weren't moving on.
I've been
Because you weren't moving on. People are
You're
allowed
being
to walk,
rude now. You're being rude.
People are allowed to walk
Let
through.
me speak.
People are allowed to walk through.
God.
Where are you going? Okay,
What are you doing this road? Go.
but I'm asking you to move on.
Am I refused?
Pardon?
Am I refused?
It's a sterile area.
No, it's not.
It is. They've asked you. They're keeping this path free.
Are you his
People walking
superior?
around. No.
Well, why are you standing allowing him to tell lies?
It's not lying though, is it? If he was lying, I'd step in.
No, but it's a public footpath. We haven't brought barriers or anything like that.
Just shut up
Yeah,
and listen
but
for
Don't
1
be rude.
minute.
Don't be
alright?
rude.
This
You're
half
being
here
rude.
is
Don't be rude.
obviously where the King's coronation parade and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah,
Obviously we've got concerns about people trying to interrupt the coronation.
No, but we're not here to do that. I promise you that, miss.
By now, officers insist they're simply responding to reports, but their approach tells a different story. They keep repeating that he should have moved on the moment security asked. Yet this is a public space with no signage, no restrictions, no legal basis for their demands. The cameraman tries reminding them of this, stating clearly that recording in public is no offense. He emphasizes that if the police were acting fairly, they'd simply clarify the law instead of escalating the situation. But instead, they circle him, push emotional pressure, and attempt to reframe simple filming as suspicious behavior.
Yeah, we're here just to take photos and videos, right?
Exactly.
So basically, where you put the green fences, you don't want us beyond that. I get that, yeah?
And these guys don't want you taking photos of them. This is a high-profile hotel, the high-profile personnel have been staying in.
Yeah,
They're trying to keep this as sterile as possible because there's high-profile people staying in this hotel.
No, what I'm saying is, like...
So they
Well,
don't
not
want
according
you
to them.
here-
I've been stood talking to the guys on the
here
step for
taking
15
photos
minutes.
and being
security.
argumentative with them.
Having a
That's all they're
good
asking,
laugh.
that you
Right.
move away from this area.
Listen,
That's it.
and you've done
Listen, all I'm saying is, like, end of the day, wherever I went with my camera and filming, yeah, with this,
You just want to dictate.
basically, there was no complaint that I was taking pictures of anybody, but basically, what the police should do in that instance is say, look, he's in a public space, and there's no law against taking photography in a public space against any individual. We can be recorded like we are. I'm being recorded as we speak, off numerous cameras, and I'm not complaining against that. So I would expect police in that instance just to say, look, he's not, if he ain't committing no crimes, just leave him be.
But they've asked us to come and have a chat because he's been asked to move away and he's become agitated and aggressive and whatnot. I wasn't there, so I haven't witnessed it. You know what I mean? That's what we've been told.
I didn't witness that, but I would be agitated if I would be asked to move from a public space.
And allow someone to be
Do you get what I'm saying?
There's a high-profile hotel. If you stood here taking photos of him, all they've asked him is, why are you taking photos of all here? And he's acting like this. That raises our suspicion that he's trying to do something else.
Yeah, because you know the amount of times we've been approached this morning taking pictures, security personnel, and it's like we're getting sick of it, miss.
Yeah, and I can appreciate that because you are entitled to. But if they've asked you not to,
Yeah.
and you carry on, they've asked you not to. If I kept taking photos of you while you're at work.
No, but that weren't the argument. So basically,
Security then mentions high-profile guests staying inside the hotel, insisting that any camera pointed toward the building becomes an instant threat. The cameraman explains that he's documenting London, capturing the moment, and nothing more. Yet their suspicion refuses to drop. They repeatedly accuse him of ignoring instructions, and he pushes back harder now, explaining that no one has the right to stop photography of a building visible from public ground. His tone sharpens, their tone sharpens, and every second of dialogue feels like another spark added to an already overheated situation.
take pictures of the building.
All we've done, as soon as he come out, he said, "Come here." Tried to have a chat with him. He's gone, "Don't you fucking dare," or whatever he said. "Don't you dare." I didn't hear it. Right? And it was been acted like this. That raises our suspicion that he's up to something untoward. Yeah, I hope you can.
No, not untowards. I'll explain for him. He's angry because basically we're sick of getting challenged. We've only been out for an hour and a half, and everybody keeps telling us.
I'm not being funny, sir. During a high-profile incident like this, a high-profile thing where there's a lot of members of other states around, members of other states, you can appreciate if you're taking lots of photos of security and all that sort of stuff, it's going to raise our suspicions that you're trying to do something else. I'm not saying you are.
So you've had a
but you're
talk.
stood here taking photos of here.
Yeah.
What benefit have you got of taking a photo of this?
Because I'll answer that, although I don't have to.
Yeah.
I will answer it for you. I'm a visitor to London, so therefore I want to get as much footage of the whole event as I can, right? For no ill intent purposes. So, you know, I'm just explaining on a lighter note to you that I'm not here to cause you problems. What I do want my rights to be upheld is to do that in a publicly accessible place.
But you are going to get challenged. On a day like today, you are going to get challenged as to what you're doing and why.
But could you not circulate it? Can you not?
No.
Oh, that's the thing. So
every post you go to, you're going to be facing security.
We're
They're going to ask you.
I can guarantee you one thing: we will definitely not breach any fences or try and do anything like that. You know what I mean?
We don't know that, do we?
I'm telling you.
Until you come up to us and have a conversation like we are, we don't know that, do we? And
Well,
security don't know
that's
that.
my word. I'm here just to film.
But if you're stood here just taking a photo of them,
Yeah.
they've got the right to challenge you as to what's going on.
They can ask it all they want. Yeah, I get that.
Exactly, and you can say, "I'm going to take photos in a private place."
Public place.
Move on.
As officers continue pressing, he clarifies that he is not here with bad intentions, just a visitor collecting footage like countless others do daily. But they insist that his behavior is raising concerns, claiming he acted aggressively when asked to move. He corrects them immediately. His frustration came from constant, unnecessary challenges every corner he turned. This was not the first time today, not even the second. Security and police keep confronting anyone with a camera due to the day's high sensitivity. He argues they should know the law better and de-escalate, not provoke.
Take it that they're asking you to move on for a reason. You know, they're trying to keep this area as sterile as possible. At the end of the day, half a mile in that direction, or where those buildings are, is where the new king is going to be going to. Across, yeah,
and that's why you've set your barriers. That's why you've set your barriers here, and you don't want us going beyond the barriers.
So you can record, you can take photos in a public place. There's no problem. Alright? But if they ask you to move on, then I suggest that you just move on quietly. There's no benefit of taking a photo of here.
No, you don't know that though, miss.
But if you've taken a photo of here, you've taken some recording, nothing's going to change. I mean, it's going to stay like this now.
No, but that's what I'm saying. I've got my footage now, and we're only having a talk due to a conversation that you've come over. So basically, I'm happy that I've already got my footage of here. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, but I would also like the personnel to know that if we wanted to stay on the street that's open to public, we can do it also, you know. Even though I'm finished, it'd be good for the security personnel to know that as long as we're not trying to breach anything or get in anybody's way.
But you can understand why they're very heightened.
I understand. And that's the reason why I've gone the extra mile to try and speak to you and say, look,
I appreciate that.
I'm not here to cause you any hostility. I'm not here to cause you any security breaches or anything like that. And I'm literally here with cameras.
No, that's fine. And I appreciate that. Just obviously, we've obviously been asked to do a job to protect everyone here today.
Yeah, I totally get that. And that's why I'll talk to you. And at the end of the day, I'm not here to cause any issues.
Perfect.
You'll see me all about London because I'm trying to get as much footage.
Where are you from then, if you're not from around here?
We're from up north. Okay. But basically, we think this is quite bizarre. You know, like how, you know, just because of a select few that.
The footage now shows the officers trying to persuade him to move further back, telling him the area must remain sterile because the new king will be passing nearby. He acknowledges the significance of the day, but insists on his rights. He highlights that while he's already finished recording, its vital security staff understand that public space cannot be shut down on a whim. He explains clearly that he has no intention of breaching fences, crossing barriers, or causing trouble. He only wants acknowledgement that the public has access where the law allows, even on high alert days.
Do that, and it's like, why? We're not even doing anything. We're not doing any harm. I think when in regards to the wee situation, he has to go to the toilet, and they looked him up and down and went, definitely not. They sort of disrespected him by looking him up and down as if to say, you're not good enough to come in here, right? So that's got his back up. So
I can kind of appreciate that, but at the same time,
do you know what I mean?
They've got a job to do. Obviously, they don't work for us, we don't work for them. I don't know what they've been told and what they haven't been told.
No. But can you imagine this, right? So I don't know your annual salary, right? Can you imagine out of your civvies, right? You go to somewhere and they're all swanky top of the range hotels, and you ask for something in a need of like emergency, like a wee or something, and they look you up and down just because it's a day like this, right? Can you imagine how disrespectful you?
I can appreciate that.
And that's all it was. That's why he's got his back up, and I think he made the joke in regards to saying, okay, I'll pee up against the wall. He has no intentions of doing that. Like.
No, but that does constitute a criminal offence. Threats to cause damage is a criminal offence.
Yeah. Well, to be fair, that's a new one to me. I didn't think that the saying I'm going to have a wee against the wall, I didn't think that could be criminal damage.
Yeah, so it's temporary or permanent damage. So temporary damage because someone's got to come out and clean it all down would constitute criminal damage.
Does it?
Even if you get chalk and draw on the pavement in chalk, criminal damage.
Yeah, that's only what I didn't know that. I was always on the understanding it comes under a different law. You know, like exposing yourself in public space or whatever, you know.
Potentially, but essentially it's criminal damage.
But it wasn't in.
But his sort of attitude and demeanour. If this is what he's been like to security, I can understand why they would have got their back up a bit. I'm not saying that he did with them, but I can understand why they got their back up a bit and why they're a bit more heightened as to let him through and all that sort of stuff.
No, he didn't want to go through.
But I can understand why.
Yeah. The tension shifts when the issue of the toilet arises again. He explains that earlier his companion needed to use the restroom, but staff reportedly looked him up and down, dismissing him instantly. That disrespect lit the fuse for the earlier argument. He stresses that it's not about royal events, politics, or access. It's about basic decency. Officers acknowledge that emotions have run high, yet they still justify security's suspicion. The cameraman pushes back, arguing that security's reaction set the entire conflict in motion. And now he's forced to defend simple actions that were perfectly lawful from the start.
At my colleague there and stuff, you know what I mean? And it,
Well, you'll get the whole story then.
when you're compliant with us and you talk to us, we're more than happy to have a chat with you and help you out. If you start screaming and shouting at us in the street like he's been doing my colleague, what do you expect us to do?
No, I know, but I've told you the reason why he's got his back up. You know,
I get it.
end of the day, he's seen the uniform of everything that he's heard about the Met, and you know, he's probably thinking, why are you coming to me? Like, you know, I just after just a chat with them, like, you know, I'm only going off what he's told me.
Sure.
So he just felt disrespected, how they talked to him. But anyway, miss, like I say, I'm finished with mine.
That's right.
But it'd be good for him to know that, you know, as long as we're not trying to breach any barriers, that we're okay, as long as we're not blocking or causing a nuisance or anything like that. You know,
I think they're a bit more heightened here just because of this hotel, because it's where a lot of high-profile
dignitaries and stuff like that.
Exactly,
Yeah, I get that, because
so-
they can see the registrations. You can tell
So
they're not.
I think that's why they're a little bit more heightened here. Some of the other roads they might be less so. They might be alright.
Yeah.
You're still going to get challenged. Don't get me wrong. You're still going to get.
I know. Well,
asked
that's
why you
what.
feel
That's
like
what.
stuff.
So we're probably
As long as
we're probably gonna have these conversations throughout the day now. But it's crazy. We should. It's the world we're living in. Like a camera. Or the mirror of a questioner, can I use your toilet? I can understand them probably not letting him into the toilet because of who's in and out, but there's no need to look him up and down and go, probably not, like, you know. As you can tell, we're not suited and booted, you know what I mean?
No.
But anyway, miss, I'm gonna.
No worries. Have a good day. Hopefully it stops raining so you get some better footage.
Well, yeah, regardless, you can keep clearing the lens anyway.
He continues clarifying that earlier statements were misinterpreted. A joke about relieving himself near the wall was taken as literal intent, sparking unnecessary alarm. Officers argue it could be considered criminal damage, yet the cameraman states plainly that no such act occurred. Misunderstanding and impatience on both sides made everything spiral. One officer admits he can see why security panicked, especially with high-profile figures nearby. But he reminds the cameraman that shouting at officers doesn't help either. Still, the cameraman maintains that the original disrespect triggered the entire chain of reactions.
Already up when you've arrived.
Yeah, but me coming over here, in any way when I approached you, I wasn't rude. I asked you what you were doing, and you've immediately gone to
you
this
went on
level.
the back foot.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, because I know what you're coming to do.
And now we're having a civilised conversation.
Yeah.
Yes.
Now we
So
are.
now we stay at this level,
Yeah.
and I ask you what is it you're doing here today?
Yeah. I'm not going to tell you.
Okay, that's absolutely fine. I just need to know, because it's been raised to us, which is why I've come over here. My plan was to move you on, but if you stay at this level and stay over here, I have no issues with that.
Right.
Which is what I was going to say to you if you'd had a conversation with us.
So-
Instead, you went to this level.
Well, I'll ask another question.
Yeah.
You're saying I'm getting angry and aggressive. That's why you're moving me from
This is a sterile area.
suddenly
though.
sterile area.
This is a sterile area.
So I'm
yeah.
allowed to be angry and aggressive out there.
No, that's still a public order.
Well, why are you moving me on?
Pardon?
It's better to contain the
Because
situation.
you can go and stand there all you like, but they've asked us. They
Why
said
it's
this
closed
is
like
a
that?
sterile
I don't
area,
understand.
so we're trying to keep.
King!
The king was.
The road is not closed.
He's getting his crown.
Yeah, but the king
They
is
don't
from
have the
all
right.
people,
The road
and
is
all
not
people you need
They don't
see
have the right
photo.
to
Remember
public
why it's closed?
You go down to Trafalgar Square. you
But
see
some
it.
people don't
They're
need
trying to
it.
keep this
Where?
area here
All the way-
sterile
all the way down
because
that
there's
way. All the way down
paramedics.
to
You
That's
get through.
that's why we're getting pulled,
And then
because they reported us for
people allowed
taking
to walk
pictures.
through, 100%.
Yeah, but then I don't understand.
But we don't want to go past the barrier. We just stay on the road, right?
Yeah, I still over there.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Yes, but they don't have
it's
the right
crazy.
from that
area sterile.
from that side coming the king.
Yeah, no, but the king, yeah, you won't even be here, so it's well protected.
I don't know
Down
who that
the
is.
outside.
They're coming.
Yeah.
Over there I stay.
Yeah.
I don't go the road. No, can I
Could you
pass
please
from
just
here?
stand
Over there?
Speak to
behind
them
them
and
there?
see
I
if
don't
they
have
let
an
you through. I
issue
don't
with that.
know.
You won't be able to get past the barrier, but like
You stay over there.
up into the barrier, yeah.
Yeah, still.
But they rung.
The officers attempt to resolve the conflict by saying he can remain where he's standing, but must not cross into restricted zones. He asks pointedly why they treat him differently simply because he expressed frustration moments earlier. If the area is public, then emotion shouldn't determine rights. Officers explain that crowds, paramedics, and heavy security operations require strict movement control. He argues that he and his friend never tried crossing barriers. They were simply documenting. The repetitive cycle of suspicion and challenge continues until both sides begin softening, realizing neither wants further escalation.
But they're trying to keep this. I'm asking you. I'm asking you.
When you leave, I'm not here to stand. I'm not come to London to stand here.
No,
When you go,
100%, I understand that.
when you go,
But they're trying to keep this area sterile.
we shall be on our way. When
Okay.
you go.
All right.
Yeah.
So if I come back in 10 minutes, you're still gonna be here, right?
Well, no.
You are.
We
I
won't.
see it on your face.
First of all, we got our footage, sir, honestly.
We're here. We're
You
here
know,
to cover everything
Okay.
in London.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, then have a good day.
Sorry for the... We got off on the wrong
You
foot.
did, massively.
You know,
Massively.
we had a good
But-
conversation, miss.
Yeah.
You know.
Understand
Just,
why
you
now.
are going to get challenged.
And we already have
At
been.
different
We
points.
expect-
Yeah, you're going to get challenged.
You've got
What I
to
don't
understand
expect from is
that today's a
jump top
massive
security.
day, massive
Trying to tell
threat
me to
levels
move
to us.
off
Yeah.
the public street.
So
But I've
anyone
done
that's hanging
nothing wrong,
around
that's
that can
all.
maybe in the tiniest way
Just
suspicious.
take your
Yeah.
chin, you're probably going to get
Nearby
challenged
events
here and
like
there.
that.
Yeah,
yeah.
We're
Probably
gonna
are
come
going to
over
get
and
asked to
engage.
move
Yeah.
on. Okay?
But all we're asking for is that our law, that the laws that prevent
Now
that
you've put us on the same
let us
No,
do
no,
certain
no,
activities
no.
don't get suppressed, because we can understand, you know, we're not protesters, we're not here to cause any anarchy, we're not here to cause any issues for you.
But at the same time, you have to appreciate there's a lot of protesters around. You know, people have already been arrested today for protesting and that sort of stuff because they've been trying to get onto the road to try and block the thing. So everything.
Anti-royal protesters.
No, but this is where your time would be better spent on like people like, you know, who are actually, you know what I mean?
That. But if you're not raising concerns to these people, we have no reason to come over.
Yeah, but it was the initial with, you know, the toilet looking him up and down. If they hadn't have done that, like, you know, it probably wouldn't have got to that conversation with him.
Well, we'll leave you to it.
Alright, guys.
Obviously, please move on from the area.
Yeah, we got our
we're gonna
footage.
go
We
back
was
there.
going anyway, you know.
Alright, I'll see you later.
Where are you going?
It's back inside there where I'm supposed to be posted.
To do a proper
Where I'm supposed to be
I
posted.
come from me. Right, see you later.
Eventually, the tone shifts into reluctant understanding. The officer apologizes for the earlier tension, explaining they get alerts on every suspicious act during major state events. The cameraman accepts the apology, but stresses that the public should not be suppressed simply for recording. He reminds them that protesters are being arrested elsewhere, making officers even more tense, but lawful photography should never be treated as a threat. By the end, both sides acknowledge the misunderstanding, and the cameraman concludes the encounter with a firm reminder: filming in public is a right, and confusion doesn't override the law. With that, he gets his final shots and prepares to move on, footage secured.